Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.
I'm Aaron Maté, sitting in for Jimmy Dore here with Kurt Metzger.
Yeah.
Some news came out of the CPAC conference. Senior U.S. official Richard Grenell made an announcement. The U.S. is no longer in the business of regime change.
I want to say one thing that's really important in this conversation. Donald Trump has done something different than Republican foreign policy leaders have done for 25 years.
This is a paradigm shift, what he's doing.
We articulate very clearly under Donald Trump, we don't do regime change. We are going to deal with the countries that are in front of us. And our criteria is not how do we make that country better, how do we make America better, stronger, and more prosperous for the people that live here.
So Richard Grenell says the Trump administration no longer does regime change. And if that's true, that would be a major shift from the first Trump administration, which tried to do regime change in countries like Venezuela, as the chief architect of that regime change operation, John Bolton, openly talked about.
I know that I agree with you. To be fair, with all due respect, one doesn't have to be brilliant to attempt a coup.
I disagree with that. As somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat, not here, but other places, it takes a lot of work, and that's not what he did.
When we were talking about what is capable, what you need to do to be able to plan a coup, and you cited your expertise having planned coups.
I'm not going to get into the specifics, but
successful coups?
Well, I wrote about Venezuela in the book, and it turned out not to be successful. Not that we had all that much to do with it, but I saw what it took for an opposition to try and overturn an illegally elected president.
You see how he corrected to coup d'etat from like it's pronounced karate, like he the art of coup d'etat.
Don't be impolite. Don't be offensive and pronounce coup d'etat wrong. Yes.
Yeah, he really that hand grenade award is one of my favorite. Seeing that guy brag about his hand grenade award is like because that's clearly a joke award.
When John Bolton got a hand grenade from USAID, which he used to advance regime change operations, yes. But look, if this is a new policy, according to Richard Grenell, that would be a big change, including from Trump's first term. Also, someone should tell Elon Musk, because just a few years ago, when there was a coup attempt in Bolivia, Elon Musk said on Twitter, "We will coup whoever we want. Deal with it."
Yeah, I remember this. This is the number one. When is this from? July 25th, 2020.
Yeah.
But because every time somebody hates Elon Musk, it's never for this tweet.
No.
If you had a reason to, you would think this would come up first.
No. This is low on the list. But look, if this really is the policy, and I'll see it, like I'll believe it when I see it. This would, reverse decades of U.S. policy. Here, for example, is the late journalist John Pilger interviewing the former CIA Latin America chief Duane Claridge and talking to him about the CIA's multiple attempts at regime change and destabilization in Latin America.
Have you, when I mean you, the CIA, the United States government, or any foreign power, what right do you have to do what you do in other countries?
National security interests.
But that's a divine right, isn't it? Because the people that you do it to have no say in this.
Yeah. Well, that's just tough. We are going to protect ourselves, and we're going to go on protecting ourselves because we end up protecting all of you. And let's not forget that.
Right. No, I won't.
We'll intervene whenever we decide it's in our national security interest to intervene. And if you don't like it, lump it.
What does that mean?
Get used to it, world. We're not going to put up with nonsense. And if our interests are threatened, we're going to do it.
What are those interests? Is that classified, or can I know?
Well, look, here is one sign that actually the Trump administration is making good on Richard Grenell's pledge to no longer do regime change. This is the headline from the so-called Free Press. Exclusive. Trump is starving the National Endowment for Democracy.
They're hungry for some democracy.
Doge has frozen funds to the organization that was instrumental in helping win the Cold War. It's been a bloodbath, says someone inside the NED. And the NED has indeed been used for regime change operations around the world, including in Latin America. It was founded under Ronald Reagan, and it has funded movements across the world and promoted them when the U.S. wants to overthrow a government, including in Latin America.
It doesn't do anything but that, is my guess, if it's founded by Ronald Reagan. It was instrumental in helping win the Cold War. What have you done for me lately, NED?
It's true. I mean, the Cold War, even if you believed in winning it that way, it's been over for more than 30 years. So,
yeah, like, and now it's fat and lazy and stupid and does not. Yeah, I really don't understand. Were you the one that was on, or was it Max when that reporter or that woman from the NED was on? And
that was Max. That was Max.
She had no idea it was a cutout.
Yeah, she had no idea that what the NED has done around the world to regime change and destabilize foreign countries. But this is from a documentary that Max Blumenthal did a few years ago on the NED and what they've been up to around the world.
Pelosi was among a bipartisan cast of lawmakers on hand to pay homage to the NED. Though the NED markets itself as a politically benign entity, advancing democracy and human rights, its record tells a different story. The NED drew its original leadership from a group of Cold War ideologues who had formerly belonged to the Trotskyist Social Democrats USA Party. Founded in 1983 by then-President Ronald Reagan, the NED became an international vehicle for the neoconservative agenda.
It's good to have you all here to help celebrate the launching of a program with a vision and a noble purpose.
Over the years, the NED and its partner organizations have largely served the interests of right-wing, free market parties and corporate interests around the globe.
In Central America. From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. For 10 years, the U.S. supported the military attempt to overthrow the Sandinista government in Nicaragua. It never succeeded. Today, the Sandinista government has been overthrown at the ballot box.
The NED's first success was the defeat of the Sandinista government in Nicaragua's 1990 elections, replacing it with the right-wing party of Violeta Chamorro.
Las dictaduras del somocismo y el marxismo-leninismo hoy terminaron.
Since then, the NED has advanced U.S. interests in countless countries. It helped swing a Russian election for Boris Yeltsin in 1996. It drove a failed coup attempt in Venezuela in 2002. It orchestrated a successful one in Haiti in 2004, and another one in Ukraine in 2014.
Good old Ukraine, of course, one of the NED's last successes. And it looks like, as of now, if the NED's funds are permanently frozen, then the U.S. really is making good on Richard Grenell's pledge to not pursue regime change.
Yeah, well, the NED, that's just the stuff that Max found that they did. Like, I'm sure they've been, something Reagan made back then, they came from a Trotskyite thing and then became a neocon thing. That must be dark.
Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.